We are going to see an green computing case study on ascertaining provider sustainability audit models, prospective for and barriers to regularization, presented by Sriram Vignesh S. Sri Sivaranga Saigata Sumathi AS. The total content of the PPT is given below in the slide. For the topic, given that global supply chains of multinational focal companies FCCs constitute over 80% trade of worldwide, it is not surprising that influential FCS are increasingly held on accountable of lack of sustainability in the supply chains. A mounting body of literature has focused on the importance of purchasing or procurement functions in FCS and the strategic necessity of incorporating sustainability into supply chain management. As a result of FCFS are expected to take responsibility for improving sustainability in their supply chains by formulating extensive sustainability requirements, analyzing sustainability risk, measuring, monitoring and improving the sustainability performance of the suppliers and communicating about the SCCM activities. Literature survey for this topic is provided by the Service Management through Stream Control Transmission Protocol International Journal of Emerging Trends in Engineering and Development. That's explained why multinational companies have profited from globally dispersed supply chains for some decades. However, particularly in the last decade, sustained critical attention and increasing stakeholder pressure have focused full public attention on negative effects of FCAS. Had by pursuing low price purchasing strategies, and critics underline the responsibility that FCAS have to improve the sustainability in their FCS. Next topic on literature survey is supplier assessment for SCCM. A number of standard SCCM tools have been identified which FCS employ to ensure minimum standards, identify and minimize risk and improve sustainability performance in the supply chain. The most important common feature of easily implemented tool is the code of conduct for suppliers, followed by the supplier self-assessment questionnaires. A code of conduct outlines a company's expectations, supplier sustainability, compliance. Self-assessment and audits can be employed to verify the compliance with such codes as well sustainability for risk management. Next topic on literature survey is clarification of terminology, supplier sustainability audits, that is SKAS. The term sustainability audits can entail the following types of audits: CSR audit, social audit, ethical audit, environmental audit, etc., as well as addressing as the supply chain of FCS. Although we note the use form of ethical audit, including reference to the audits of suppliers' sustainable behaviors, we consider the term too broad and open to much interpretation. Hence, this research we prefer the term supplier sustainability audit SSA, which make it clear the audits are not optional, it is an voluntary audit. Next topic on literature survey is supplier audit fatigue. Given the noteworthy increase in the focus of the SC sustainability and companies' general preference for a voluntary approach to sustainability self-regulation, it is not surprising that there has been a corresponding increase in audit activity voluntarily commissioned by focal companies. To gain an appreciation of the vast amount of supplier sustainability audit activity occurring, consider that an ethical trade provider, SEDEX, reported the having early conducted 3 lakhs audits by 2018. From an PFC perspective, it can be very demanding task to access the sustainability activities of all direct suppliers of the supply base. Next topic on literature surveys, private sustainability initiatives and association for SCCM. In 2011, the OECD first released guidelines for multinational enterprise in which they suggest that FCCs engage and encourage their suppliers to improve their sustainability performance. Already at that time, the OECD recognized the potential for conflicting requirements that could overlap, whereby a supplier is exposed to audits and other SCCM practices. And indeed, private supply chain initiatives and associations were founded in response to pressure for increased sustainability compliance and monitoring to fill gap for such coordinated services. Analysis for this content is by based on research approach. Our survey of that extent literature revealed no empirical insights into audit activity, neither an analysis or comparison of audits being employed as part of SCCM are not a discussion about implications of parallel audit standards. These include an exploration of under-researched phenomena of interest, an account of how to explore the issue, as well as generating the findings that may serve as the basis for more refined research. Our research began in late 2017 with a perceived increasing number of industry initiatives and corporate associations that have developed and aligned their own audit standards for monitoring supplier sustainability. Next topic is based on the data collection and problem analysis. The research on initiatives and the association began in late 2017. The primary exploratory criteria for including SIAS were publicly available audit protocols and audit process information. Different industry representations, private voluntary organizations and their audit standards that is was actually being used and shared among members. Data from following SIAS were downloaded in the early 2018 by SMTA, PSCI, ICTA and FWS. All audit standards are included in our sample were publicly available via the internet. Next topic is proposed solution. Our exploration of various SAAS and ensuing in-depth analysis of the audit processes and comparison of the content of the 8 identified SAAS uncovered a lot of information. Not only could have understood and compared the standards audit processes, but also the sustainability categories they focused on and on the questions asked as the part of the studies. Some SAAS first began auditing in last 5 years but may have been conducting since least 2010. Next topic is proposed solution based on analysis of subcategories among supplier sustainability audit standards, that is SAAS. The preceding sections demonstrated the structural overlaps of level of sustainability categories identified across most of all SAAS, but how much overlap was there at detailed level of individual questions asked as a part of each SAAS, complying management tables from multiple 100-page audit protocol was a challenge for this research. In order to present the findings on the limits to the overlaps, a much more granular levels of detail is required. A more detailed impression of the granular differences and similarities can be gained by the consulting the supplementary material. Next topic is methodology. We began our research with the general observation and underlying hypothesis that supplier sustainability audits are increasing in number of and scope worldwide. We noted that multi-brand voluntary sustainability initiatives or associations have created their own audit standards and proposed that these audit standards are probably similar and therefore that the standardization of SKS may be possibility. In the following, we begin with a discussion of our findings and how these findings relate to our assumptions, propositions, and helped us to answer our research questions. Therefore, we point out the limitations of this research and make suggestions for further research before conducting and the section by highlighting the relevance and implications for practice. Next topic is resources and techniques by audit process similarity. Our first research question pertained to the main audit processes, characteristics and to the extent to which this might overlap. Our comparative research and analysis based on the standards found that SAAS processes are very similar. Recalling the findings in table 4, our exploratory research revealed that 8 SAAS have established nearly identical audit processes. Common sense resources as that most audits would need to be prepared, conducted and followed up, which is what the identified common phases confirm to. And such audit steps are probably neither specific to supplier audits or sustainability audits. Next, solution for this case study. Different audit standards covered different characteristics to varying degrees of detail. This research is not evaluating which standards are better or arguing that more questions are necessarily sign of quality, but rather highlighting the details of difference between standards. While maintaining the categories demonstrate much intersection, there were also specialized categories such as responsible raw material resources that were more pertinent to certain associations and industry initiatives. Due to constraints of length and complexity, it was not possible to compare every subtopic and outlying question that was probably present in only one SAS. This research intended to explanatory rather than exhaustive, providing an exploratory insight into potential convergence among audit standards. Next topic is validation. 8. Compliance with the societal, health, safety, legal and cultural issues, compatibility with environment sustainability. However, it's important to recognize the main critical voices, the question and the effectiveness of audit specifically, and self-legitimating nature of private voluntary self-regulation by companies in general, are generating a type of pseudo-legitimity and technocratic distraction from more systematic issues. The next topic is compliance with the professional ethics. Next topic is going to explain the conclusion for this case study. Sustainability is increasingly becoming a central tenet of many discourse and probably global trends and no exception to this trend. Focal companies have developed numerous strategies and tools to manage sustainability risk in the supply chains. The qualitative research focused in depth on sustainability audits as core as element of SCCM toolkits. Research contributes to literature on SCCM sustainability ethical activities and sustainability initiatives by global audit activity and by describing how supplier audit standards are structured and differ. Global FCAs are increasingly combine their efforts in multi-brand SAAs to pool resources, share good practices and to reduce supplier audit fatigue and redundant activities. References for this case study is given below. Thank you.